Okay, so we're all very excited to get our first competitor on board. Before he gets going live,
my name is Sang-Ho Park, and I'm representing the UK. First of all, latte art. I had a job as a part-time barista in a train station, and then I was pouring hearts, and then I wanted to learn more about coffee, and it actually started from there really. So I attended a course at a school, then yeah, it started from there. It's been amazing just seeing everyone that I've heard of and now actually being friends with them. And yeah, meeting awesome people, drinking awesome coffee, being in Melbourne, I'd never expected before. I think I can't ask anything for more, really. Yeah.
Okay, without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, please give an incredibly warm welcome to the first competitor in the final day of the 2013 World Brewers Cup competition, the Brewers Cup champion of United Kingdom, Sang-Ho Park.
Guys, all ready? Ready? Everyone ready? Cool. So if I raise my hand, right? Okay. Time. Hey guys, now before I make you a delicious cup of coffee for the last time, I would like you guys to take a look at this. Now this is a screenshot taken from my iTunes, okay? And it's showing my favorite tracks out of the thousands of songs that I own. Now, by looking at the number of times it's been played over here, it becomes quite obvious that I really like these songs. Now this is because it fulfills and satisfies what I look for in music. And for me, I like hip hop with lots of swearing, a lot of heavy bass and lots of snares, okay? Now from that list, you might notice some songs that you guys like, or some songs you'd rather not listen to. And that's completely fine because we all look for different things in music. Because you might like classical music, you might like jazz, you might like rock, Paul over here might like dubstep. So a single song or even a single genre cannot satisfy everyone's taste in music, right? And let's imagine that we have a list just like this, but with our favorite coffees. So our favorite coffees being over here, like here, and number of times we've drank them being over here. Now each of us will have such a different list, with coffees from different countries, regions, varieties, processes, and altitudes. And that's because we all look for different things in coffee. You might like a certain acidity, you might like a certain sweetness, you might like a certain aftertaste. So a single coffee from a single farm, or even from that whole country, will not satisfy everyone's taste in coffee. That goes for the same for the coffee I have with me today. It's my favorite coffee because it satisfies and fulfills what I look for in coffee. So I understand that it can't be everyone's favorite coffee, but I simply didn't want to brew something that only satisfies myself. I wanted to brew something that could satisfy everyone here. It's a simple process, okay? As I've chosen the coffee, I'm going to give you guys a choice, which will determine how I brew, what I brew, and how I serve you the coffees, okay? So you have an envelope in each front of you. If you open the envelope, you will find two options inside, right over here. If you choose the option that you like and place that option in front of the table here, that'll be great. Cool, we all made our choices. Now, as you can see, I'm using a V60 and paper filter because it gives me clarity and it gives me even extraction, okay? Now, I would like your attention to these. Now, there's two separate pots here. Now, they're the same coffee. The only difference is that this one is a batch from a 15 kilo roast, okay? And this one is a 10 kilo roast of the same coffee. Now, the difference is the 15 kilo gives a really juicy body and really like playful, vibrant acidity. The coffees over here, the 10 kilo gives a really crisp acidity and a really elegant body. So even though it's the same coffee with two different roasts, it gives a completely different flavor profile. Today I'm going to use the 15 kilo because the judge over here has a choice of body and acidity, okay? And she's chosen that she likes coffee with a juicy body and playful acidity, which this roast shows clearly in the cup, okay? I'm just gonna settle this. To the coffee. This coffee is amazing. It's so amazing. One of my friends who've never drank this coffee before had the smell of the aroma, dry aroma, and he thought it was a Kenyan coffee, but it's not, okay? It makes your mouth water, and it's just amazing. So I'm using 16 grams of coffee, okay? 16 grams of coffee from Colombia, from the Huila region. It's called the La Butera. It's a fully washed mix of Caturra, Castillo, and San Bernardo varieties. It's grown at 1,500 meters above sea level. And you guys will love this coffee. And now the water. So I'm using 250 grams for each of your brews. Adding 50 grams every 30 seconds. And if you see my lid over here, it says 65 ppm, and I want to be really specific with my water. You can see I had two kettles prepared, one with 95 ppm, one with 65. The reason why I'm using 65 ppm is because the judge in the middle here had a choice of aftertaste, okay? Now I found that the water is so different from London and Melbourne. It was so different. I had to experiment a lot with different waters, and I found that the 65 ppm, the coffee kind of gave this really clean but really sweet aftertaste. So the judge in the middle had a choice of aftertaste, and she chose that she likes clean and sweet aftertaste, which this water delivers. Nearly done, guys. Now, as you can see, I'm going to serve you guys your coffees in a diner mug. That's because Stuart over here has a choice of service vessels. Now, different service vessels doesn't really change any of the extractions of the flavors. But we're childishly excited about drinking coffee out of our favorite cups or mugs. And as Stuart has chosen that he likes to drink coffee out of diner mugs, that will be our service vessel today. Let me just... So it's all done. Now I'm gonna dispense some of the coffees into your mugs. And when I do, please pick up the carafe, give it a really good swirl, and really good sniff of the aroma coming out of it. What you'll get is this really sweet candied red apples and juicy black currants. Now, we're going to take that first sip together, okay? That first sip, because the coffee's still a little bit hot, all you're going to register is that flavors and the aftertaste. The flavors that you'll get is this sweet red berries and some raspberries and that juicy black currants. Please drink out of the vessel rather than the spoon, okay? Now, please note, as the coffee cools down, that flavor is going to be much more vibrant, much more popping. That juicy black currant is going to come alive. and that red berries as well. And remember that sweet aftertaste, clean, sweet aftertaste of milk chocolate, okay? And the acidity is green apple acidity, fresh green apples. And that sweetness is caramel. And again, that aftertaste, milk chocolate, clean. That milk chocolate really binds this coffee together to make this a really balanced cup. Guys, I hope after you finish these coffees, on that list of your favorite coffees, on that list of yours, I hope this coffee will be the new addition to that list. Thank you very much, guys. It's been an honor. Time.
Boom. Sang-Ho Park, United Kingdom Barista Champion. Come on over here. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Beautiful. What was the music?
Huh?
What was the music?
The first song was The Knife, Heartbeats. Second was Hermitude. Third was C2C.
And did you consider the music as much as you considered the coffee?
Yes.
Considering
Exciting.
your presentation. Great presentation, congratulations.
Thank you.
You look like you really enjoyed it.
Yeah, there's less pressure than yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really wanted to just do it better and
Yeah.
enjoy it this time. So
There's a lovely play on the scientific differences of what you can do with a brew
Yep.
and how they impact the
Yep.
subjectivity of flavor.
yes, well, there's many ways of going over it. You could sieve the fines. You could do. You could change the water, and I felt this coffee is so complex, and it worked either way of what
Yeah.
you do. And
Yeah.
I thought, yeah, that was great.
How many different waters did you try in terms of different ppms?
I think too many to count.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so you ended up with 65 and 95, is that right?
Yeah, there was 65 and 95.
Right. Yeah.
The
So
guys,
just tell people again what you were trying to achieve by changing the ppm on that water, what you were trying to do.
So the water actually changes pretty much everything in terms of flavor.
Yeah.
But it felt that for me, with those two waters, the aftertaste was really like vividly, apparently
Yeah.
different.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it still had that flavors, but
Yeah.
the aftertaste was just so different. And
Yeah.
I felt it was an interesting thing to have two different waters that gives two different aftertastes.
Great. And have you competed in the Brewers Cup before?
I competed in not the Worlds, but
Mhm.
in the UK 2011.
2011.
Yeah.
Okay. Mr. James Hoffman won that year, is
Yes.
that right? And he
Yeah.
came second, I believe, that year.
In the Worlds, yeah.
Yeah, in the Worlds. Yeah, yeah. Good. How have you found the experience this year compared to 2011? Because 2011 was the first year of the World's Brewers Cup championship, and so this is the year 3. What's the experience like?
It's grown much more bigger. There's much more. I don't know. There's it's bigger, better.
Yeah.
Lots more people.
And do you brew coffee at home, or is it just too much coffee at work that you don't?
I rarely brew coffee at home actually.
Yeah. And if you do, what would you use?
V60.
You use a V60? Yeah. For
Yeah.
convenience or for taste or
for taste,
Yeah.
clarity,
yeah.
Yeah.
Good. And you're in London working with
Square Mile Coffee
Square Mile Coffee Roasters. What do you do with them?
roasting.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Roasting? How long have you been roasting?
6 months now.
6 months?
Yeah.
Did you roast your own?
No, I cannot let Jess do that because I trust her more than myself. So.
Give her a shout out to the roaster. She's up there, Jess, who roasted the coffee, who is probably going to be most annoyed that she has been singled out. I also want to ask you about some incredible T-shirts that we see around the place. Can anybody be good enough? John, can we use you as a guide? So John Gordon over here has got a beautiful T-shirt going on, which is got Sang-Ho. I don't know if you could get you over here to have a little look at that. Get over here, John. So this is the UK Barista Champion of 2013.
That was drawn for me. I think it was the day before we were flying out to Melbourne.
Wow.
That I think Jess and Bruno kind of planned. Bruno.
Is that the guy who drew it?
Yes, Bruno.
Okay. Fantastic piece of work.
Yeah.
Yeah. And are you kind of a monster underneath here? Is that the message?
Apparently, I'm the Korean brewing monster.
The
So-
Korean brewing monster, ladies and gentlemen, Sang-Ho Park. Thank you very much. Cheers.
Thank you.